Something to really be aware of, especially in the era of online dating, and that is the term cushioning. What is cushioning, and why do we do that?
Did you push record?
Thanks so much for tuning back into Second Act TV. Today I'm welcoming back Treva Brandon Scharf to Second Act. Treva, thanks so much for staying over.
Oh, I love you. I will be here forever. You can't get rid of me.
Treva, of course, is a life coach, a dating coach. She's the co-host of Done Being Single with her husband, Robbie. We'll link to all that. We've had both of them on this show. Very popular segments. You guys give great advice. And I wanted to keep you over for one conversation that isn't necessarily a mind-blowing or, wow, I didn't know this, but something to really be aware of, especially in the era of online dating. And that is the term cushioning. What is cushioning, and why do we do that?
Cushioning is kind of like benching. Do we know what benching is?
Kind of. Go ahead.
So cushioning, benching is when you have other people sort of in rotation. And cushioning is it's something every single person should do. You should always have kind of some people around, juggle if you want, because that's what single people do. And when you find someone that you are like, hey, this one's good, then you cut it out. You stop. Benching, by the way, is when you have other people on the bench. You may be dating someone, but just in case it doesn't work out, okay, I'll go to the bench, like in sports, right? You're in. Come on, suit up. Take off their sweats, and you're in the game. You out, back on the bench. We do it when we're single. Cushioning, same concept. If for whatever reason it doesn't work out with the person you're dating, you have a cushion to soften the blow.
Yeah.
You have someone sort of back pocket or right there. We all do it. It's not the most heinous of dating trends and etiquette and behaviors. But the question is when you know to stop, when when is that moment where you clear off the bench or you take everybody out of rotation and you settle on just one.
Yeah. The way I'm interpreting it, and this was the term cushioning was somewhat unfamiliar to me, but the way I'm interpreting it is that you have a quote unquote main squeeze. You are in a committed relationship, yet you still have your cushions in place that
Yes.
you are in regular contact with, and they don't know that you're in
Right.
a committed relationship.
So I was looking at it as sort of more positive aspects of it. But yes, once you have become somewhat serious or exclusive with someone, yeah, you owe that person your full attention. You shouldn't, if you like that person, you shouldn't have wandering eyes. You shouldn't need to keep looking, although we all know people like that. At some point, and this happens for people at different ages. I mean, for me, I was 51. My husband was 57 when we got married. I guess you could say we bench warmed and cushioned all our single lives until we met each other and decided that's it. Okay, I'm done. I'm done being single.
That's your show. Yeah. No, and I agree that, and they even say that in this article, that where some bad dating behavior is clearly unethical, like ghosting. Ghosting is very clear. You're done. You quit a relationship, walk out without an explanation. Cushioning. Yeah, when you're single, of course you should have people around you.
Yeah.
But at what point, once you get into that relationship, then give it all you've got.
Right.
Because if you don't, and I'm going to speak to the people that may be in that position, this really means that you have to work on yourself. Why are you doing this? What does that say about you?
It says either you're a selfish prick or you're really insecure.
Yeah.
That's kind of it, right? If you're a guy, it means you're a player. If you're a woman and you're doing that, you're obviously insecure, needing way more than just, there's something else that's missing.
Yeah.
And you'll never get it if that's the way. There's a hole in your soul
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be filled and filled and filled with. And where does it stop? I think you and I were talking about this thirst trap in the last segment. A thirst trap are people who live for just the adulation, that live for just love me, adore me, tell me how beautiful I am, and they need it to fill something in them. And maybe that's having a bunch of guys around all the time, texting and messaging. And you're right. You have to ask yourself, check yourself. What is it in me that's not satisfied?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I was just going to ask you about that because I thought that's interesting. It is the need for validation.
Validation. Thank you.
That that can really screw up any chance that you have of a true connection in a relationship.
Yes, because it's never enough.
Hmm.
It's just never enough. And yes, validation, we all know about external validation. It's just nothing you should ever really have to depend on. I mean, you should really be the source of your own validation. Is it nice to get accolades and love and attention? Sure it is. And interest? Sure it is. But you should be okay without it. It should be, a bonus or icing on the cake. I have a friend that, okay, just to give you background, she dated all throughout the pandemic. She never stopped. She was more active than ever. And great, good for her, right? But it's as I watch and observe her dating behaviors, it's starting to feel like, are you sure you want a boyfriend and not just the accolades? Are you, all the stuff that you do on social media, and I know I watch her on social media, it's just starting to feel like, I think you're trying to fill something that will never be satisfied.
Yeah.
And you can't depend on a guy to do that for you.
Yeah. No, you bring up a terrific point, which is that especially now, with social media and with online dating, the ability to get those accolades, to get that validation is a lot easier than it was before. And that's why something like cushioning, in the dating world is so much easier to do. To your point earlier, yes, it's always existed, and to some extent it should. If you're single, no, you don't commit right away. You don't want to jump into something. Yeah, you keep your options open, but be honest not only with yourself but with the people who are involved in this.
Yes, you owe it to that person. I mean, but then again, I ask them, why are you dating? What are the reasons? Do you really do you want something committed? Do you want something long term? Do you want a partner? Or do you just want your ego stroked? Or you just want to feel better about yourself? And I guess those are okay too. But you have to make sure that you communicate whatever it is to the person you're with, or otherwise then you come off being a selfish prick. You can't go wrong being honest with any of your needs. You have to say it, and that way the other person knows, and it's on the other person too. Do I want to be with a person like this? It's not making me a priority, or that I'm being juggled along with a bunch of other people, and that's something. The boat. As long as it's. What am I trying to say? If you know the score, if everybody knows the score, then nobody can be really held responsible for anything.
Absolutely, and I loved also in our last segment, and we'll link to that. You brought up that we've become bad humans online dating, and how important it is. We forget sometimes that because we're behind a screen, or the distance between that interaction, that you are interacting with a human being, and you may very well be hurt, and you can have a huge impact, negative or positively, on that person. And I think that's really important to remember.
Yes, we're all humans. We're all in this together. You must be kind. You just have to be a kind dater. Okay, so you're not a match. Okay, don't make that person feel bad.
Yeah.
It's so simple. And just because you're behind a screen doesn't excuse you. I don't know. I just feel like I want to smack everybody.
Well, we certainly get, the frustration. Every time I run anything on online dating, there's tons of frustration, and I get it. I do get it. I still believe that online dating is going to be around. It's going to be, one of the primary ways we meet. That is why I think it's important to have somebody like you and bring that message back, that be nice, be human. Don't understand you're dealing with humans and that you have an impact on those humans. And I don't want to dwell on that point. I think I think it's a good discussion on this whole cushioning situation, because not only does that help the people involved, but it really does bring the focus back on you. Why are you doing this? What do what is it that you really want?
Right.
Treva, I'll let you finish
Right.
up.
You're the cushioner. Why are you doing this? And if you're the cushionee, why are you accepting it? Once you kind of sense, wait a minute, I'm with someone who's maybe juggling. I may be one of many. I don't feel like I'm a priority. People are not stupid. They pick up on that. And that's when you have to step up and be a good person and say, you know what, this is not fair. I think you're great, but I don't think I'm what you need right now. If what you want is a committed relationship, I can't be your person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just say it.
Just say it. It's hard. It's a hard thing. Some people have a hard time with that, but that doesn't excuse you from not saying it. So,
One thing I just have to say, when I was dating online, and I might have had a drink or one date with someone and knew there was not a second date coming. Okay. I would immediately, and maybe this is just me and I don't know, but I kind of think this is something that everybody should practice. I'd pick up the phone and I gave that person the courtesy of kind of an explanation. I would say, thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed myself last night. I really enjoyed getting to know you. I don't think we're a match.
mm-hmm.
I think you're a great guy. And I think you're going to be great for someone. I'm sure of it. So I wish you all the best. You have great potential and whatever. And you know what? They thanked me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanked me. And the whole exercise in doing what I did was to make people feel good about themselves, because I don't like hurting people. That's just me. And what's the big deal? It took 3 minutes out of my life to just save them face.
Yeah. No, I agree. I did the same thing, and it was always uncomfortable, but every time it was welcomed, with the exception of one, and yeah. But I did make the effort, and I did feel good about that. Treva, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add before we close the segment?
Just if you're looking for me, you can find me and learn more about me and my coaching services and all my interviews and podcasts and links to our podcast on being single. But I obviously do other podcasts. Plus, I have a library of really great dating advice blogs called The Late Blooming Bride. And that's kind of my brand. You can find me at trevabrandonscharf.com.
Yes, Late Blooming Bride is how I originally found you several years ago. You wrote an article that I thought was so funny, and ever since then we've become friends, and I love having you on Second Act. So I will have links to all of Treva's information, and I so look forward to having you back again soon on Second Act TV.
Anytime, babe. I'm here.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if there's a topic that you'd like to have us cover, visit our website, secondact.tv. We have a little red suggestion box in the upper right-hand corner of our site. Just click on that, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.